Hello, my name is Dr. Christopher Nagy, and I'm the Superintendent of Schools for the Bergen County Institute of Technology and Bergen County Special Services School Districts. Today's Spark is entitled Navigational Digital Dissonance, and this is my 40th Leadership Spark. Much like music, be it the classics like Stravinsky's Firebird or progressive jazz artist Stanley Clarke and his Voyager piece, to the likes of rock and roll guitarist legends Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, or Jeff Beck, to current rap artists, some of their work exhibit a musical dissonance or a clash of sounds only to be followed by harmonic resolution. This is often the case in the world of technology, the internet, and social media. There are constantly opposing forces working against one another with the individual in the middle. This dissonance is quite evident in our personal lives as consumers of information. The average amount of time that teenagers now spend on cell phone and social media is around 8 hours a day. A few years ago, it was 5 hours a day. That becomes their news and connection to the world. For adults, the average amount of time on social media channels a day is 135 minutes. And in 2018, the average amount of time spent on smartphones for adults was 3 hours and 35 minutes. And that increases annually by 11 minutes. The dissonance in our technology usages is seen by our obsession with technologies, with the need to be needed and feel connected, to be on call or risk losing a sale because we did not answer fast enough. And in the end, it has taken a chunk out of our lives, our family time, and for those who look at the phone or computer screen prior to going to bed, loss of sleep. In today's world of acceleration of technology, the rise of artificial intelligence and augmented reality platforms, it is easy to be consumed and lose track of time. The mind is curious and seeks to make connections. The challenge is, how do we control its influence on each of us? Think about the last time you had a discussion about religious differences, political viewpoints, or how to raise your children. All have opinions, and for some to the point of emotional stress that impacts upon one's physical well-being. This is dissonance, and we experience this all the time. Like technology, how do we change the influence that all of this has on us and flip it to when we decide to allow the technologies to be used or accessed? Have you ever forgotten your phone and realized when you arrived at work you did not have your phone? How did it make you feel that day? Uncomfortable, disconnected, distracted? Our brain experiences dissonance all the time, be it as a sponge to soak up any information it is exposed to, or as a container for a short-term memory, a blender for synthesizing information, a garbage disposal for getting rid of information, as well as a recycling machine. The question is, how can we use this to our advantage to navigate this information overload and obsession to be connected? Trapped in the hedonic treadmill, few people are able to develop habits and lifestyles that allow their brains to function optimally. In the Harvard Business Review in 2017, Dr. Srini Pillai, a medical doctor in the Harvard Medical School, author, executive coach, CEO of Neurobusiness Group, and technology innovator and entrepreneur in the health and leadership development sectors, wrote an article on how the brain deals with overload. He noted that at the center of managing overload is the ability to know which function of the brain to use, how to use it, and when to use it. According to Srini Pillai, there are 6 principles which act as guideposts to what he calls proper brain hygiene for managing information overload. The 6 are: setting the vacuum cleaner. If you leave the brain's vacuum cleaner on its default setting, it will pick up every piece of information on its path. You need to fine-tune its feedback setting from global to local. What just happened versus all prior activities. Take a break from the action to unfocus and do not think about the entire day. Placing a filter on the container. Short-term memory is like a cup filled with ideas. It has limits. Why remember something you do not need to remember? It's distracting. Focus on proactive filtering. Know the sounds of your phone, voicemail, social media inbox, and turn it off, or turn off the notifications, or ignore them altogether. Turning the blender on. It is important to make space in your brain by connecting ideas. When you do, they become paired, and your brain can handle more information. Allow time during the day to turn on the connection function of the brain. When you have too much information bombarding you at a given time, add another task into your day that is fun as a result, and turns on your connection creativity circuits. Cement your memories. To create long-term memory, consider spaced learning. Rather than working non-stop, deliberately build in distractions into your day. Chunk the information to retain long-term. Turn on the garbage disposal. We often fear that we cannot remember things, yet there are also things that we cannot forget. Troublesome memories linger longer. When that happens, so as not to linger all day, consider a quick switch to a substitute for that memory. Go to your favorite piece of music or bring up a very memorable event's image and look at that for a period of time. Last, activate the recycling machine. The brain consumes 20% of our body's energy, even though it only uses 2% of the body's volume. This means that when your body lacks energy, your brain will suffer as well. We have to condition our bodies to not only improve the quality of life, but also the brain. It gives the brain a break and rejuvenates it. When you feel overwhelmed with information overload because of technology, consider the 6 principles noted earlier. Here are some questions to ponder. Do you recognize the warning signs of overload? What will you do when you see them? How do you respond to those who say that you are not present when they are speaking directly to you? Your spouse, for example. Practice being present. And last, what systems do you have in place to alter the influence that technology can have on your life, day, and family life?